In the last video, I finished working on the study room next to where I am standing right now. I'm actually looking at. So now I want to actually start working on this living room space. You already saw me building a wall, and I actually decided to build another wall just to give a little bit of privacy to this living room. I'm just going to save a little bit of time, and I'm going to just put the walls in place. Okay, so now that we are here, now is the next step. So I'm going to actually try to paint everything. This is the first thing that I need to do, is pretty much paint everything. But let me walk you through what I already have done so you guys can understand a little bit of the process.
This is the before. The only thing I did at this point was change the light fixture. I removed the baseboards and I decided to paint the window and the door frame black. I use a satin black and I'm very happy with the results so far. After everything was painted black, now my focus was on this wall and this door. I want to hide this door, so the first step was removing the trim around and the doorknobs.
You can see this is this wall, and I have like a weird square box over there, and the reason why I want to show you is because I think it's a very cool feature that if you are building a wall, maybe you can consider doing this too. To put an outlet here, because this is going to be actually a TV wall. I want the cables to show he's going to be the outlet in where the TV is going to be mounted. So then I made the hole that's over there, ends over here, and I'm going to put like a tube, like a pipe, connect to them so it will be easy for us to, put the cables through the process. I actually had some textures in this wall, and then I made like a skin coat with mud.
After I built everything, skin coat and sand, was time for prime. I added one coat of primer in everything, and then I add 2 coats of extra white and eggshell in everything except where the slats goes. I'm just adding the tape to help me remember when I need to stop the black and to keep the line somewhat straight. I used the level to make sure I was straight. I added 2 coats of black in eggshell on this wall and on the hinges of the wall because I didn't want to unscrew the door since it was a perfect fitting without any additional hardware. I did have to remove the door later on to install the floor, so it didn't help it very much.
So I'm using plywood for budget friendly. It's maple, and I'm going to cut in a length because I want to have like a gap, a very small gap between the door and the floor. This is pretty much the gap I'm going to use from top and bottom. I'm going to cut the length, and then after I cut the length, I will start cutting the width, okay, which is going to be 1 inch, 1 1/4.
Okay, to install the slats, which I made some mistakes that I want to help you avoid them. I decided to paint the sides of the plywood black to match the wall, which was a great idea. I definitely would do that again. I really like the way it looked because of that. The problem is, what I would not do it was not sanding and staining before I attach the wall. So I should paint the sides, then sand, then stain, then attach the wall. But I didn't. I decided to do everything on the wall because I thought would be a better job in staining and sanding would be, more professional, which I felt like was. But I feel like doing this gave me, I should definitely do the other way around. The sanding process was not great doing vertical, but I did not have any issues with over sanding the plywood. So it looks really good, but I recommend do that before. Then I added the woody conditioner because it was maple and I didn't want to get a blotchy finish. And you can see that, I don't know if you can see by the camera, but I felt like the stain that I used, which is now my favorite stain, called Milk Tea from Bear. You can actually ask the store to make for you. I felt like it removed the yellow from the maple, and in real life actually matches, go really well with the white oak, and I'm very, very happy with that. Then after that, I added some caulking on the sides, and the slats was done. The only footage of the flooring is not the best, but I want to show you this sliding door. We normally are supposed to give the gap between the floor and the door, but I didn't want to add any transition here, so this was the risk I decided to take. I will let you know if anything bad happens. I had a full sheet of 3¼ inch MDF, so I decided to do my own footboard with it, using half of that, which was $200 less than I would spend buying the baseboards already cutted and primed. Love when I can save. The other half of the MDF I decided to use to be the quick TV console that I thought should be also painted white, and better than painted material, MDF is definitely the best because the paint is smoother and it's just better. This is me priming. I added primer and that's it. I use pocket holes to put all together, and then after I put together, then I decide to paint white because I want the paint to be like more even and everything. So I decided to put together first, then paint everything white. I used glue in the first one, but everything else I didn't use glue. It was pretty strong and it's not heavy, so I thought it was just screw would be enough. This is the support. I only had 2 studs where I could screw the table in. I promise you was enough, and it's pretty strong. We only have 2 small electronics inside, so would not be a big deal. I decided not to add doorknobs. I only add soft closer hinges to hide the electronics inside, and I thought turns out so good. Sorry for my weird voice. I'm a little sick today and I'm very excited to show you the results. If you like this video, if it was helpful in any way, please hit the subscribe button and give me a like. I would love to see your comments as well. After that, I added the baseboards, and let's remember the before, and now you can have the after. Hope to see you in the next one.